Yeah. I want to ask you guys a broader question that I've been thinking a lot about it. People talk about what the media is covering. Does that mean look at the website of the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, Axios, and the Washington Post? Does it mean looking at what's the lead story in Green Bay on local TV? Like, is it what's on Twitter? Like, obviously, I'm not making a profound point, but it's harder than it was 40 years ago to say, what is the media covering? But I told everybody at the top some stories that I thought were super important. Here's some of the things I didn't talk about. Trump is threatening to pull 175 million from the University of Pennsylvania over their trans athletes policies. There are members of the Democrats in the House calling for Chuck Schumer to resign. There's this extraordinary war going on over something called the U.S. Institute of Peace, where there's a standoff because it's a quasi public private institution. I could go on. There's a million things. And every day the White House is doing a million things. And one advantage to them is, as people have said, is stuff that might get scrutiny isn't getting scrutiny because he can't scrutinize 20 things. But it occurred to me, what's today? Wednesday. I guess on Monday, I ask myself every day now, starting on Monday, what's the story the White House wants covered today? What's like their top priority? Because that's the way a normal White House works, right? You got a long-term planning calendar, and then every day you say, okay, morning meeting in the chief of staff's office. Today we want to drive X. It seems like, based on a surrogate activity, that they want to drive this immigration story, but a lot of that's being driven by the judge's rulings. They're not really in control of that. So, not asking about today, but Alex, just in general, are they trying to drive a particular story, or are they deviating from that norm and they're happy to drive 20 stories or let people pick from the buffet?
Well, I think in this particular case, I don't think it's an accident that Pam Bondi goes on Fox News. I think she's pretty selective in where she goes, or at least generally speaking, she's fairly selective. And this is the issue that she wanted to talk about. So again, they think it's a winning issue for them.
Okay, there's no doubt, Kristen, just wait one second. There's no doubt that, as we all agree, this is a winning issue for them. But do they really want to be driving that as opposed to the president as peacemaker, or what they're doing on the economy to lower prices? Like for instance, they
Yeah.
argue, and I just look at the data, the price of gas and eggs have both come down, right? They don't really try to drive that. I mean, there's tweets about it, but wouldn't they rather drive that than drive this immigration story? Kristen, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm just sort of
Yeah.
confused about what
Yeah.
their actual goal is on any given day. I agree, putting out all these surrogates helps drive it to it, but is that really the story they want to drive? I don't know.
I would today. I mean, because especially on the economy, you have one day where gas prices are down, egg prices are down, but then you also have the projection that the economy is only going to grow by what, 1.7%. I mean, that came out today, which the economy is more of a mixed bag right now, just because there's so much in flux. And so, if the sound chamber can be dominant on this issue that frankly, is a win-win. It's very hard to see where there's any but you know commentary on it, on immigration. I would lean into it, especially because you had the whole first month, so many wins on immigration that we really didn't talk about because there were so many other things going on, right? There was so much flurry of activity. It's almost like we had the first 25 days, executive order, boom, 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 so many things. And now we're going to elongate it and unpack it. And it's going to be like immigration week. And then maybe next week will be, okay, look, your eggs are cheaper. And then the week after that, maybe tariffs will shake out and keep running from there. But they had a bumpy few days just with the tariff back and forth and the markets going up and down. I think it makes sense to lean all the way in on immigration because there's no downside to it.